You know there's a connection between you two. The way she looks at you, the moments you've shared, it's undeniable. Yet when the conversations stop, it's always you who has to reach out first. Why is that? Why doesn't she take the first step, even when you're certain she feels something too? It's not just about the silence, it's about the unanswered questions, the frustration of not knowing what's going through her mind. But here's the twist. This isn't just a dating dilemma. It's part of a deeper universal pattern in human behavior, one you can learn to understand and even use to your advantage today. We're diving into this dynamic with a blend of modern insights and the ancient principles of Stoicism, wisdom that can help you transform confusion into clarity and regain control of the narrative. Let's break it down. Number 1, the illusion of effortless. The illusion of effortless attraction. Attraction. She sits by her phone, glancing at your messages, maybe even smiling at your last interaction, but she doesn't text first. Why? Because society has painted a picture for her, one where the right man always takes the lead. This narrative whispers that if you truly care, you'll pursue her no matter what. It's not that she's disinterested. It's that she's been conditioned to think that making the first move somehow diminishes her worth or makes her seem too eager. Take Mia, for example. She's been crushing on Tom for weeks. She loves how grounded and confident he seems, but each time she considers texting him, doubt creeps in. What if he thinks I'm desperate? What if he's not as interested as I am? So she waits and waits, and eventually her fear of rejection keeps her silent. Despite her feelings, here's where Stoicism comes into play. Her hesitation to reach out isn't something you can control. What you can control is how you respond. Instead of letting her silence dictate your worth or push you into overcompensating, lean into patience and self-respect. Many men fall into the trap of thinking relentless effort equals love, but pursuing someone to the point of exhaustion doesn't prove your value, it diminishes it. Women, like men, are drawn to strength and balance. If she truly likes you, your patience and self-assuredness will encourage her to meet you halfway. Instead of texting her every morning with a good morning message, pull back and observe. Does she check in on you? Does she make an effort to continue the conversation when you're not initiating? These are subtle signs that she's interested but hesitant. Imagine a woman is like a pendulum. If you push too hard, bombarding her with texts, calls, and constant attention, she swings away feeling overwhelmed. But if you step back and give her space, she naturally gravitates toward you. Your silence, when you used wisely, speaks volumes about your emotional maturity and confidence. Ultimately, if she truly likes you, she'll find a way to meet you halfway. But this won't happen if you're chasing relentlessly or doubting your worth. Be the man who respects himself enough to be patient, yet confident enough to act when it feels right, by embracing the Stoic mindset, grounded, patient, and focused on what you can control. You send a powerful message, I am enough with or without you, and trust me that confidence is magnetic. Number 2, fear of rejection. Rejection. Let's talk about something most people don't realize. Women fear rejection too. In fact, they may fear it even more than men. Society often portrays women as the ones being pursued, but that doesn't mean they don't feel the same apprehension about reaching out first to you. Her silence might feel like indifference. You might think if she really liked me, she'd say something. But the truth is, her hesitation often has less to do with you and more to do with her internal battle. The fear of rejection. Women aren't immune to the sting of vulnerability. The more she likes you, the higher the stakes feel for her. Let's dig a little deeper into her perspective. Women often internalize cultural messages that say they shouldn't be too forward. Society teaches them that initiating contact might make them seem needy or desperate. So even if she really likes you, she might hold back, waiting for you to make the next move. This hesitation doesn't mean she doesn't care. It means she's human, and like all of us, she's navigating her own fears and insecurities. So how do you handle this? Should you always make the first move? Not necessarily while it's important to show interest. You don't want to chase her to the point where it feels one-sided. Instead, aim for a balance. Take initiative when it feels right, but don't let her silence undermine your self-worth. For example, if you've already reached out and she hasn't reciprocated, resist the urge to double text or overcompensate. Send one thoughtful message and give her space. If she's interested, she'll eventually respond. And if she doesn't, you've maintained your dignity and saved yourself from unnecessary overthinking. Here's the paradox: when you stop stressing over why she hasn't contacted you, you become more attractive. Your calm and steady demeanor sends a powerful message. I'm confident in who I am, and I'm not dependent on constant validation. Instead of dwelling on her silence, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. This is where Stoicism truly shines. Marcus Aurelius advises, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Use this time to cultivate your strengths, pursue your passions, and build a life you're proud of. Not only does this help you stay emotionally resilient, but it also makes you naturally more magnetic. When a woman sees that you're thriving and confident in your own path, she'll feel drawn to you in a way that goes beyond surface-level attraction. When you radiate calm confidence, you create an environment where she feels safe to overcome her fears and connect with you. And if she doesn't, you'll still be standing tall, knowing that your worth isn't defined by anyone else's actions. That, my friend, is the true power of Stoicism in relationships. As we wrap up this thought, take a moment to reflect on how this dynamic might be playing out in your own experiences. Have you ever felt frustrated by someone's silence, only to later realize it wasn't indifference but vulnerability? How might you approach these situations differently? Now, with this insight, share your perspective in the comments below. Your thoughts could inspire someone else who's navigating the same. Challenge number 3. Misinterpreted signals. One of the biggest reasons women don't reach out, even when they like you, is because they're unsure about your feelings. Let's break it down. Women, just like men, brave clarity in romantic situations, but if your actions send mixed signals, it creates uncertainty. She starts second-guessing herself. He smiled at me but then didn't follow up. Was I reading too much into it? We had an amazing conversation, but then he seemed distant. Does he like me or not? He texted me, but now it feels like he's pulling away. Am I wasting my time? Here's the thing. Women often feel the weight of societal expectations and the fear of coming on too strong. They don't want to misinterpret your actions, so if your behavior leaves room for doubt, it's easier for them to retreat into silence than risk rejection or embarrassment, even if she's really into you. A lack of clear signals from your side can make her hesitate. This is where Stoicism can provide a game-changing perspective. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." In relationships, this translates to one key principle. Clarity is the foundation of trust and connection as a man. Your role isn't to play games or send cryptic signals. It's to communicate your intentions clearly and confidently. This doesn't mean being overly aggressive or laying everything on the table at once. It means removing ambiguity, so she doesn't have to guess how you feel. For instance, instead of hinting at wanting to see her again, say something like, "I really enjoyed talking with you. Let's grab coffee this weekend." What do you think? This straightforward approach not only shows confidence, but also sets you apart from the countless men who rely on vague hints and mixed messages. Some men hesitate to be direct because they fear rejection or think it makes them vulnerable. But here's the truth. Being clear about your intentions doesn't make you weak. it makes you stand out. Women respect men who know what they want and aren't afraid to express it. That said, Stoicism teaches us to balance action with patience. While clarity is essential, it's equally important not to push too hard. If she's unsure about her feelings or needs time to process, respect that space. For example, if you've expressed interest and she doesn't respond right away, don't flood her with follow-up messages. If she seems hesitant, don't assume the worst. Her silence might be more about her own fears than a lack of interest. Think of clarity as a way to eliminate unnecessary obstacles. When you're direct and confident about your feelings, you create an environment where she feels safe to be vulnerable too. Consider this: if you're sending mixed signals, she has to work twice as hard to figure out where you stand. That mental and emotional effort can push her away. On the other hand, when your intentions are clear, you remove that uncertainty and make it easier for her to engage with you. Even with clarity, there's no guarantee she'll respond the way you hope. This is where Stoicism becomes your greatest ally epic. Titus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. If she doesn't reply, don't spiral into self-doubt or frustration. You've done your part by being clear and direct, by staying grounded. You show her and your S that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's response. When you radiate this combination of clarity and calmness, you set yourself apart from the noise of mixed signals and hesitation. And trust me, that's exactly the kind of energy that draws people closer. Number 4, testing a man's leadership. Women often test men's ability to lead without even realizing they're doing it. This isn't about dominance or control. It's about understanding if you're the kind of man who can step up with decisiveness and presence when a woman pulls back or stops initiating contact. She's observing how you handle the space. Do you crumble under the pressure chase after her validation, or lean into your calm and take the lead? Let's say she used to text you every morning asking how you slept, or sending cute memes to start your day. Then one day those texts stop coming. A lot of men feeling the absence might react in one of two ways. First, the chaser. He panics and starts bombarding her with messages, desperate to restore the connection. Second, the retreater. He assumes the worst, that she's no longer interested, and disappears altogether. Neither of these approaches demonstrates leadership or emotional security. Women aren't looking for a man who either chases them down or fades away. They're drawn to a man who can stay steady and proactive. Someone who doesn't let external circumstances rattle his sense of self instead of panicking. Imagine responding like this: "Hey, I noticed we haven't talked much this week. How about dinner on Friday? There's a spot I've been meaning to take you to." This simple message conveys confidence, awareness, and leadership. It shows you're interested but not dependent, thoughtful but not reactive. True leadership isn't about controlling her behavior or demanding she reach out first. It's about showing up with calm authority and purpose, regardless of what's happening around you. When you take action from a place of inner steadiness rather than insecurity, it sends a powerful message. Imagine you're planning a trip with friends and one of them suddenly becomes unsure about their plans. A good leader doesn't waste time trying to convince them to stick with the group. Instead, he calmly moves forward with the plan, trusting that others will follow if they see the strength in his decision. The same principle applies here. When she hesitates or pulls back, don't chase or retreat. Step forward with confidence. Leadership in this context doesn't mean grand gestures or dominating the relationship. It's about being steady, thoughtful, and proactive. It might mean taking the initiative to plan a date, sending a message that reflects confidence, or simply letting her know you're thinking about her without pressuring her for a response. In the end, if she's not reaching out, it doesn't mean she's lost interest. Often, it's a subconscious way of testing your ability to lead with calm confidence. Will you react with insecurity, or will you respond with grounded intention? As the Stoics remind us, the only thing within your control is your response. So don't react emotionally to her silence. Instead, step up with presence and purpose. Show her that you're the kind of man who can lead with quiet strength, not because you need her validation, but because that's who you are. What do you think about this perspective on leadership and emotional steadiness? Reflect on how you've handled similar situations in the past. Did you react emotionally, or did you lead with calm confidence? Share your thoughts in the comments below, or simply type, "I choose grounded intention." Your insights might inspire someone else on their self-worth and overthinking journey. Number 5. Self-worth and overthinking. Women, just like men, are no strangers to overthinking their own worth in a relationship. While you might be wondering if she's pulling away, she could be asking herself questions like, am I enough for him? What if I'm bothering him by texting first? Does he really like me as much as I like him? These thoughts can lead her to hold back, not because she doesn't care, but because she's caught in her own whirlwind of self-doubt. The irony is, both of you might be overthinking and waiting for the other person to make a move. Society often places immense pressure on women to be perfect in relationships. They're expected to be confident, but not too assertive, approachable, but not desperate. This constant balancing act can make her second-guess her action, even if her feelings for you are strong. This is where your self-worth comes into play. Women are deeply attuned to the energy you project. If you carry yourself with quiet confidence and a sense of purpose, you naturally put her at ease. Your self-assurance becomes a silent reassurance for her insecurities, eliminating the need for her to overthink or seek constant validation. Imagine you're the kind of man who knows his value, not in an arrogant way, but in a grounded, unshakable way. When you send her a message, it's not laced with neediness or an underlying fear of rejection. Instead, it's simple, clear and confident. Like, hey, I really enjoyed our time together. Let's plan something for the weekend. How about that? Park, you mentioned that kind of approach does more than just move the conversation forward. Ward, it tells her without words, you don't need to overthink this. I value myself, and I see value in you too. When you embody self-worth, you create a space where she feels safe to let down her guard. Her overthinking begins to fade because your steady presence provides the reassurance she craves. You don't need to directly address her doubts or insecurities. By simply being the calm, confident man you are, you naturally encourage her to relax and trust the connection. Overthinking in relationships often feeds off mutual insecurity. If you're constantly questioning her feelings or overanalyzing her actions, it can create an unspoken tension that she'll pick up on. But when you choose confidence instead, it shifts the dynamic entirely. The Stoics remind us to focus only on what we can control our thoughts, actions and responses. You can't control her overthinking, nor can you fully erase her insecurities, but you can control how you show up in the relationship by embodying calm self-assurance. You lead by example. You demonstrate that you're not shaken by uncertainty or silence over time. This steadiness will help her feel more secure in the connection without you needing to explain or prove yourself. Remember, as the Stoics teach us, the man who values himself is not at the mercy of others' approval. When you live by this principle, you not only free yourself from overthinking, you free her too. So the next time you're tempted to question her silence, ask yourself instead, am I showing her the steady presence she needs? Lead with confidence and let her come to you. The power of absence, number 6. The power of absence. Here's a truth that might surprise you. Absence doesn't always mean disinterest. In fact, it can be a powerful tool for building attraction when a woman doesn't contact you. It's often not because she doesn't care, but because she's letting the emotional tension grow. She might be thinking, if I give him space, he'll miss me and take the initiative. This dynamic plays out more often than you think. Imagine a situation where a man and a woman share a few amazing dates. The chemistry is strong and everything seems to flow naturally, but after their last meeting, she stops initiating conversations, feeling uncertain. He begins to overthink. He sends a series of texts, one to check in another, to ask if something is wrong, and eventually an apology for over-messaging. She responds politely, but the warmth between them fades. What he doesn't realize is that she was initially drawn to his calm confidence. His reaction to her silence, his neediness and over-communication changed how she viewed him. Instead of giving her space to miss him, he let his insecurities take over. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside of events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the essence of Stoicism, to master your emotions and respond with intention rather than impulse when she doesn't contact you. The first thing to understand is that it's not always about you. Her silence could stem from a variety of reasons: her own insecurities, the desire to test your stability, or simply her way of gauging how much you value her. What truly matters is how you handle it, instead of letting doubt consume you. Step back and reflect. Use this time to center yourself. A man who can remain calm and composed in the face of uncertainty is inherently attractive. His steadiness signals confidence, independence, and emotional maturity. This is your chance to show her who you are, not through words or actions, but through your ability to be. A Stoic man doesn't chase validation. He knows his worth and allows time and space to do their work. When a woman doesn't reach out, it's easy to assume the worst, but more often than not, her silence is her way of protecting herself. She may be waiting for you to make the next move or hesitating because she doesn't want to come across as too eager. Here's the paradox. The more you try to fill the silence with words or actions, the less space there is for her to miss you. Silence, when handled correctly, creates intrigue. It allows her to reflect on what she values about you and to feel the absence of your presence when you stay silent. You're not playing games. You're showing respect for her space and for yourself. You're communicating that you're secure enough to trust the process and strong enough to handle the unknown. Think about how different it feels when someone maintains their calm under pressure. It's magnetic, isn't it? That's the energy you want to embody. A woman is drawn to emotional stability. She wants to feel that, no matter what happens, you're a man who won't crumble under the weight of uncertainty. So the next time she doesn't contact you, resist the urge to react impulsively. Take a breath. Lean into your own growth and trust in the connection you've built. Let your calmness and strength speak for themselves. In the end, it's not your pursuit that will draw her in. It's your ability to remain steady, grounded, and unshaken. Now that we've explored the power of absence, take a moment to reflect on this concept. Have you ever experienced a similar dynamic in your own life? How did you respond and what did you learn from it? Share your thoughts in the comments below, or simply type, "I choose calm over chaos." Your insight could inspire someone else to embrace their inner Stoic. Let's keep going. Number 7, prioritizing emotional safety for women. Emotional safety is the prioritizing emotional safety cornerstone of any meaningful connection. It's not just about how much you care for her. It's about whether she feels secure enough to trust you with her thoughts, feelings, and vulnerabilities. If she senses uncertainty in your actions, unpredictability in your emotions, or a lack of consistency in how you treat her, she will naturally hesitate to open up. This hesitation isn't necessarily about disinterest. In fact, she may like you a lot, but without the assurance of emotional safety, she'll hold back, not because she doesn't care, but because she's unsure if you'll handle her heart with care. Women crave reliability and stability in a partner, and until she feels that from you, initiating contact or opening up fully might feel too risky. Imagine this. You're getting to know someone and things are going well. Then a minor disagreement arises, or perhaps a plan falls through. Unexpectedly, how you respond in that moment speaks volumes. If you react with frustration, impatience, or inconsistency, it signals to her that you may not be the stable presence she needs. On the other hand, if you remain calm, composed, and understanding, it tells her this is a man I can trust to navigate challenges without losing control. True strength isn't about overpowering or dominating a situation. It's about creating an environment where she feels secure. It's about being the calm in her storm, the rock that stands unmoved, regardless of the waves crashing against it. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like a rock that waves keep crashing over it, stands unmoved." This is the kind of presence that reassures her. You are someone she can rely on to build trust and emotional safety. Start by following through on promises, no matter how small. Because reliability is key. If you say you'll do something, make sure you do it. Listen attentively when she speaks, so that she feels her thoughts, feelings, and experiences truly matter to you. Finally, be consistent in your behavior, because mixed signals or sudden shifts in energy can make her question your intentions and erode the trust you're working to build. When a woman feels emotionally safe with you, it's transformative. She no longer feels the need to guard herself or play it cool. She begins to relax into the connection, trusting that you won't judge her vulnerabilities or react unpredictably to her emotions. This level of trust allows her to open up, share more of herself, and feel comfortable reaching out without hesitation. Think about how you feel when someone close to you is dependable, no matter what, whether you're having a great day or struggling. You know, they'll show up for you in the same steady, understanding way. That's the energy. Women are drawn to a partner who offers consistency and emotional security. Women are incredibly intuitive. They notice the little things you do or don't do. If you say one thing and do another, or if you're overly reactive, it creates an emotional gap. But if you show her through consistent actions that you're steady and trustworthy, she'll start to see you as a safe space in her life. Attraction is easy to spark, but without emotional safety, it rarely lasts. Women prioritize feeling secure with you over fleeting chemistry. When you show her through calmness, reliability, and empathy that you are a man she can trust, it deepens her connection to you. Emotional safety isn't built overnight, but with patience and consistency, it becomes the foundation of something truly meaningful. Let your actions speak louder than words. Be her safe harbor, and she'll naturally lean into the bond you're creating. Number 8. Avoiding perceived imbalance. Imbalance. Women often worry about the delicate balance in a relationship. Dynamic society and sometimes past experiences teaches them that showing too much interest might be seen as desperate or overly available. Imagine her thinking, if I text him first, will he lose respect for me? Will he think I'm chasing him? This internal dialogue can make her hesitate even when she genuinely wants to reach out. Let's put ourselves in her shoes. Think about a time when you liked someone, but you held back for fear of looking too eager. It's not about playing games, it's about protecting vulnerability. Her silence might not be about you, it might be about her protecting her sense of worth in the relationship. Imagine this scenario. Sarah and Jake have been on 2 amazing dates. Sarah likes Jake a lot, so much so that she's replaying their conversations in her head, wondering if she came across as too interested. She wants to text him, but she doesn't. Why? Because she worries Jake will misinterpret her enthusiasm as desperation. On the other hand, Jake is sitting at home staring at his phone, wondering why Sarah hasn't reached out. He assumes her silence means she's lost interest. In reality, her silence is a defense mechanism, a way to protect herself from feeling vulnerable. As Marcus Aurelius said in Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength instead of stressing over why she isn't texting first. Focus on what you can control: your actions, your mindset, and your ability to lead with confidence and clarity. Relationships thrive on balance, not control. The goal isn't to keep score or to play games about who texts first or who shows more interest. Instead, aim to build a connection where effort flows naturally from both sides. When she feels that the relationship is based on mutual respect and trust, she'll feel more comfortable expressing her interest. There's a misconception that effort should be perfectly equal at every moment, that if one person texts first, the other must do so. Next time, this rigid mindset leads to second-guessing and unnecessary tension. What really matters is creating an environment where both people feel safe and valued. Here's an example of how to do this. Let's say Jake decides to take a stoic approach. Instead of overthinking Sarah's silence, he reminds himself that her actions don't define his value. He sends her a casual, thoughtful message. "Hey, I was just thinking about that funny story you told me the other day. You have such a great sense of humor." Jake's message accomplishes two things. It shows he's confident enough to reach out without needing her to make the first move. And it reminds Sarah that he values her for more than just her availability. This subtle but impactful act of leadership often encourages the other person to reciprocate naturally. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Don't waste time worrying about what's outside your control. It will distract you from what you can actually influence in relationships." This means letting go of the need to decipher someone else's silence. Instead, focus on how you show up. If she truly likes you, and her hesitation often means she does, your calm, secure energy will encourage her to lower her guard. She'll see that you're not just someone who waits for her to act, but someone who's willing to take the lead with kindness and respect. So the next time you're staring at your phone, wondering why she hasn't texted first, take a deep breath. Text her if you want to, but do it not out of frustration or fear. Do it because you value the connection and know that effort, when genuine, is never wasted. What do you think about this perspective? Have you ever found yourself in a similar situation, overanalyzing silence or hesitating to take the first step? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences, or simply type "effort flows" when confidence leads to affirm your commitment to a more confident, balanced approach in relationships. Your insight could inspire someone else to take a bold step today. Number 9. Uncertainty about uncertainty. About timing. Timing. Finally, timing is everything. Women often hesitate because they don't know if it's the right moment to reach out. They overthink and end up doing nothing. Timing in relationships often feels like a game of chess. Both sides wait for the perfect move, the ideal moment to connect, fearing that acting too soon or too late might ruin everything. For many women, this internal debate can become paralyzing. She might overanalyze simple details like how long it's been since you last spoke, or whether her message will disrupt your day. These doubts often stem from a desire to preserve the connection without risking rejection or appearing too forward. As Epicurus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but the judgments we make about them." Her hesitation is less about the actual timing and more about the meaning she attaches to it for you. This is an opportunity to apply Stoic wisdom. Instead of obsessing over when she'll reach out, focus on how you can create an environment where timing feels natural and unforced. Act decisively when the moment is right, but never rush, is a guiding Stoic principle that applies here. Giving her space shows respect for her feelings, but when you sense the right moment to connect, take the lead with clarity and confidence. Your actions can set the tone and alleviate her uncertainty. If you've done your part, being genuine, clear and respectful, then embrace patience. Stoicism reminds us that trying to force outcomes often backfires. Instead, allow things to unfold naturally. while maintaining your confidence and calm.
Remember, her silence is not a reflection of your worth. It's often a battle with her own insecurities. The key here is balance. Give her space to process her thoughts and feelings, but don't leave the connection entirely up to chance. When you blend patience with intentionality, you create an environment where she feels both respected and valued. Think of it like this: a stoic man is calm and confident, not because he knows the outcome, but because he's prepared for whatever comes. Epictetus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens in this context. What's in your power is how you communicate and show up. What's not in your power is her response. So don't dwell on it instead. Trust that if the connection is real, your steady presence will make her feel more secure over time by showing her that you're steady, respectful, and clear about your intentions. You make it easier for her to step out of her comfort zone. So if you're feeling frustrated by her silence, take a step back, ask yourself if you've done your part, then let go of what's beyond your control. And when the moment feels right, don't hesitate. Reach out with calm confidence, because sometimes the most attractive thing you can do is show her that you're steady self, assured and ready to connect when she is. Thank you. Conclusion: for watching relationships can often feel like a complex puzzle, but understanding the dynamics behind silence, hesitation, and attraction helps you navigate these challenges with confidence. As we've explored today, applying a stoic mindset to relationships isn't just about staying calm, it's about leading with purpose, respecting your own value, and creating a connection based on mutual trust. Remember, her silence isn't always about you. It could be her own insecurities or fears at play. What matters most is how you respond. When you lead with clarity, confidence, and emotional steadiness, you show her and yourself that you're a man who values self-respect and meaningful connections. Focus on what's within your control. Be patient, clear, and intentional in your actions. True attraction isn't built on chasing or games. It's built on the quiet strength of knowing your worth and offering a safe, balanced space for her to meet you halfway. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like it to show your support. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What part of today's video stood out to you the most? Drop a comment below and let's continue the conversation. And before you go, check out the videos on screen now. Now they're packed with insights that will help you deepen your understanding of relationships and personal growth. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thank you again for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.